Hey, survivors, we're going to talk about some important things to know about mental abuse. So, the first thing, you're always told that it's your fault. Somehow, whatever happens, however it starts, the ultimate blame is always yours. And that's really hard to deal with in a narcissistic relationship. Notice that we are talking ultimate blame here. The blaming partner will always tell you that their behavior was caused by what you said or did. In fact, their argument runs along the lines that you can't possibly blame them for anything because if you hadn't said what you had said, did what you did, would this situation would have never happened. Narcissists love to shift the blame on you. They don't take accountability. They're very hard to communicate with. It is that childlike mentality where they shut down. They don't process it the right way. They don't have the empathy. So the second, you're more inclined to believe your partner than you are to believe in yourself. And have you ever reeled with a sense of hurt and injustice or just seethed with anger at the way you've been treated? Have you found yourself asking, is it reasonable to feel like this? Am I misinterpreting things? We do that a lot with the rumination. We feel guilt ridden. Could I have done something better? And have you found yourself asking, am I the narcissist? And if this is you, what it means is that you've become so brainwashed that you've stopped trusting your own judgment. And we lose our sense of reality in these narcissistic relationships. Our minds keep throwing up these observations, the questions that we have. Deep down, we know what is happening. And we know it's completely wrong, but right now, in this moment, you feel the strength of your own emotions. And often with a narcissistic relationship, your partner will blow hot and cold. They can be very loving, but it's often highly critical of you. They may tell you how much they love you, yet they are short on care or consideration towards you. And this is all dealing with the mental abuse that we go through, whether it's a narcissist or somebody struggling with other forms of mental illness. And we have to be careful too when we get into CPTSD and some like depression, anxiety. It can come out in this way too. A lot of relationships succeed on wholeness, on our happiness coming from within, not from an outside source. We also have to understand what our triggers are because we affect people just like they affect us. So, in short, they can be short on care and consideration. And some of the time, even a lot of times, they might treat you as if you were somebody that they actually dislike. And this is somebody that we've wanted to have a relationship with it and can be quite devastating. And we try harder and harder. The harder we try, the more they take advantage of it. And you feel as if you are constantly walking on eggshells. That's a really good sign that you've been emotionally abused, where you don't feel that you can uphold your boundaries. We also got to be careful of codependency. There's a real degree of fear in the relationship. And you've come to dread their outbursts, the hurtful things that they will find to say, to do to you. And maybe the same anxiety and need to please spill over into other relationships too. Fear is not a part of a loving relationship, but it's a vital part of a mentally abusive relationship. And I want you guys to remember that. It enables the abuser to maintain control over you. And we are fighting every day to get control of our lives back. That's why we feel so uncomfortable. We feel so off. So you can heal. Mentally abusive relationships can be enormous emotional damage to the loving partner who tries against all odds to hold the relationship together. Ultimately, we can't do it. The narcissist doesn't even work with us on it. And they're actually working against us. Whether we're currently in a mentally abusive relationship, have left one recently, or even years later are struggling with the anxieties and low self-worth, lack of confidence. And that's just caused by the mental abuse. It's never too late to heal. And that is the good news. It's never too late to heal. But you need to work with somebody or a program or searching for the answers. Answers will help you heal. We cannot get the answers from the narcissist. They, for one thing, won't tell us the truth. They'll avoid taking accountability. They'll twist things. They won't bring things full circle. If you've noticed that they don't bring it full circle, they kind of bring it halfway up, to where it's never an answered question. So the answers have to come from ourselves, or just realizing we're not going to get their side of the story that's truthful. And that's hard to cope with. But we have to accept that so we can heal. So women have suffered mental abuse. Um, Men can too. There are more male narcissists, but it's interesting how it's like 60-70% of divorces are filed from the females. And is that due to the way that we've raised the boys in the past, where, they can't show emotions, they have to toughen up, or the old school, the man has control, the king of his castle. And things are changing now. We'll see what ends up happening in the future. But mental abuse recovery, it is gradual, and we have to trust the process. Low self-worth and limiting beliefs about what kind of future the abuse sufferer can ever hope for are the blocks that can stop people from moving on. But these blocks, you can clear them. You can get rid of them. Just as a language was once used to harm you, you can now learn how language can heal you. Communication is key. You can overcome past mental abuse, keep yourself safe in the future. You can learn to feel strong and empowered. We have to believe in ourselves and create the life and the relationship that we truly want. And we can do that, but it is a process and it does take time. It's often easier to try to go back to the narcissist. It's what we're used to. Are we addicted to what we've gone through? Sometimes we're afraid of what the future holds, but we have to change our mindset to know that the future is vast and open, and we can create where our life is going to go. We can be more in tune to what the red flags are. We can watch out for them. We have to be careful not to be too hyper vigilant where we cut out people who could be good people, but don't sacrifice your future for the past. The past is the past. We have to accept it and work on ourselves. Not that I'm encouraging you to go back to your narcissist, but you have to get back to being you. And it's not going to work anyways with the state of mind that we're in. We're too hurt that we're going to want to talk through it. We're going to want them to help heal us. And it's up to us. And it's smarter to find somebody who truly loves us, because the narcissists, they just don't have the capability. It's a facade during any stressors in life, and in the end of life, I've seen so often that people who have been with a narcissist in the end of life, if something comes up, that's when they're left. And thinking that you made it 10, 15, 20, 40 years to end your last days alone, trying to cope with it. You want somebody by your side because you would offer that to somebody else. Match energies, and that will bring you happiness. Invest as much as other people invest in you. You can invest a little bit more. That's fine. Get the ball rolling, but that's how relationships grow. And if somebody isn't willing to water the relationship as much as you, they're not going to appreciate it unless they put the work in. And it's really hard in today's society because everybody, as a whole, people are starting to feel entitled. We do, everybody gets a trophy, everybody gets this, everybody gets that. All the social media, people focusing on themselves for attention and likes, that we're in a crazy day and age. But narcissism is on the rise, and I'd like us to take true love and make that on the rise. And we can't do that if we stay in a narcissistic relationship. So make some choices and choose to love yourself so you can set your boundaries the right way. And things honestly do fall into place. when you're strong again. But if you're weak, the narcissist will prey on it. And it'll be a never ending cycle. And the discard over and over again will tear at you. So big hugs to you. I know it's hard. I have live chats if you guys would like to have live one-on-one coaching sessions, basically, where you can interact with a huge loving community and just feel the validation that you deserve. I'll see you soon. Topic requests are always welcome. One-on-ones are available, and I'll help you through this journey. It's going to be beautiful, but you got to travel it.